I think Google has transformed the world in extraordinary ways. How do you think of AI for good versus AI for financial gain in the position you're in Google as a company?
I think of it as a false choice because the upside from AI is absolutely extraordinary. But if we don't invest to protect on the downside, we'll never have the opportunity to actually invest to capture the upside. And that upside downside point is two sides of the same coin. So when you think about the upside, it's around accelerating science, it's around social issues, solving things in education, healthcare, as we've been talking about. It's the economic upside. But if there's not a responsible foundation, if we're not doing the heavy work, we don't have a right to have a seat at that table. And that means engaging with regulators constructively. It means investing in our systems internally so that you're protecting from the downside. If you don't protect on the downside, you're going to find resistance, whether it's from the regulatory world or from everybody else. And so they go hand in hand. And to assume that you can pursue one without the guardrails that are critical, I don't think is long-term sustainable, and so we view them as two interlinked approaches to really maximizing the upside of this extraordinary technology.
You know, you've managed through a multitude of ups and downs in the economy, including the 2008 financial crisis. What's important for business leaders here to know about leading their teams through the incredible changes we're about to see? And do you think people realize how much change we're about to see in business and industries and society over the next 5 years?
I think the most important point to take away from all these conversations is that the art of the possible is fundamentally changed. This is a generational opportunity like we haven't seen before. And I spoke about some of the key proof points in the earlier discussion this morning. Probably one really important one is in life science. I'm so proud of our colleagues who won the Nobel Prize for this, with AlphaFold credited with being the most important contribution to drug discovery. Relevant to your question, Demis Hassabis, the founder of DeepMind, the one who went on this journey to create AlphaFold, when he embarked on it, he said, many people said, how is this possible? And his answer was, why not? And so we kept going. And I think the other really important point when you think about this, that I talked about some of the language translation work we're doing. We now translate in 260 languages. The important point is that we added 110 languages in the last 6 months alone. 500 million people on the planet. So it's a vertical lift. What that says is you better not delay. You better move right away. It's already been said on this panel. I 100% agree. And the economic upside is profound. So I would say the two most important there are many important messages, but one of them is the time is now. You have to reimagine what is possible, because it really is. And we're seeing it already today. We're seeing it in the manufacturing sector. We're seeing it in education. We're seeing it in so many different areas. In fact, very importantly, on this point about language translation, I was recently with the Minister of Digital Transformation, a country in West Africa, who said more than 50% of their population is under the age of 19. They knew that the most important thing they could do, and we've already heard comments about education today, the most important thing to do is education. How can you have a country with more than 50% under the age of 19 and not solve that? But they didn't have the teachers to do so. And what's exciting with AI is they can now actually provide education, quality education to their entire population. And very importantly, in many countries, as in this one, in many of our countries, multiple languages are spoken. And before AI Translate, you had to learn French or English in order to get the math books. Now you can learn it in your language. And so to me, when you think about the impact on humanity, it is incredibly inspiring. My dad always said when I was growing up, education is your passport for freedom. It is your passport for life. This is transformative. So one, get on the program right away. And the second really important point is what Demis said, which is, why not? You have to radically reimagine what is possible, how you interact with customers, every element of process, risk management, the way to solve healthcare issues, education issues, climate change issues. But the time is now.
It's incredible, and it's near infinite opportunity, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Every industry will be transformed.
Reimagine the impossible. Reimagine the possible. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.